Pisces, and welcome to your 2015 February Tarot Psychic Horoscope reading with me, or astrology reading. We will look at 4 cards. They will basically be one for each week of the month, and we will take an overall card to see what the general overall energy feeling is for the month, and then towards the end of the reading we will pick a high vibrational energy card and see what messages come out for you. So let's see what's ahead for the month of February. The Tower, the Ace of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so 2 major arcanas, one at the beginning and one at the end. The Ace, which is about often new beginnings, the Tower, which can be about new beginnings, and we've got a Cups and a Sword as well. So you've got really quite a mix of energies going on there. Let's see what we'll interpret. We'll work with this one first. The Knight of Swords, he's full of quite a lot of energy. Let's see if I can get that in focus a little bit more for you. He brings in like swift, feisty energy with him. Look at him charging on his horse. He's got his sword up in the air. So sometimes it could indicate that the month of February for you might have a bit of feisty action involved in it. It could be an overall feeling that's going for the month. It could have something to do with planet, you know, the way the moon and the planets are lining up as well. I'm not entirely sure, but we see also the Tower in the first week of February, and the Tower is, as I say, it's at that major arcana level, which generally indicates things that are happening or occurring, events around us that we're not so much necessarily able to control. We can control how we react to events. That's always within our control, but sometimes these things are kind of pushed in our direction or pushed in our pathway for a reason, that we have to experience things because we change, we grow, and we learn from them. Now the Tower can be a really potent message about times of quite sudden change. It can be so unexpected things that can occur that you go, whoa, where did that come from and why? But more often than not, you get the chance to redirect something in your life that probably wasn't serving you in the best way, and I think that's a positive. Yes, it can be difficult to face and acknowledge and make the change. So sometimes this is like the sudden thing that comes that you really can't turn your back on anymore, and you have no option but to address it. I have also found that this can be a card that does turn up sometimes when there are actually arguments around. So you may see some arguments, and hence, you know, this card and that card kind of go a bit together. What they're about or what causes them, who would know? It'll probably be different for everyone anyhow. And really that's the first week in February. I know this is an overall background card, but it just might be something sort of significant that happens at the beginning of February that then has a lingering effect, I think, for the whole month. Well, it probably does, because the Tower is quite a strong energy card. Then we move into the second week for February, and we see here this Ace of Wands. This is a much happier, lighter, creative card, and it's offering new beginnings, but it's already next to the card of new beginnings, because that's what the Tower is really about. But this seems more conciliatory, as if it's being handed to you like an olive leaf, you know, like a pacifier, sort of saying, okay, well, we'll try and work this out, or let's establish some new territory or some new ground between us. And it can be creative, and it can also be still in its very beginning processes, as if it's still in the thought capacity or at a spiritual level, so it hasn't manifested into the physical plane yet, but offers promising passageways. Now this can be to do with work, finances, and money, as well as creative thoughts and abilities, which is often in that whole dynamic of work as well. And the other thing that it could relate to is the possibility of a new person coming into your life that could be a fire sign energy, because the wands often are associated with fire signs. Now, if this card were representing something at work, it would definitely tell you to be, be a bit careful at work. Don't be the one that creates this situation. So if there are any tensions or underlying stuff going on at work, try and be diplomatic and try not to get involved in any underhand activity or energies that you later go, damn, wish I either A, hadn't said that, or B, been around when that happened. So I think February for you might be a month to watch what's going on around you, and if you can ease out of situations that you think are going to be explosive, then that would be a good thing to do. This third week in February, this is the Four of Cups. It's often about someone sort of dreaming of what they wish they had, like, oh, I wish I had a better job, or I wish I had that person in my life, or I wish I had this or that. But you don't see what's actually here in front of you in your life anyhow. It's like you've closed off to seeing all the good things that you have around you. So part of the message is daydreaming about positives. So often we get creative ideas like this coming to us through the realm of daydreaming. So daydreaming is really important. Don't get me wrong about that. It's often, you think of going back in time to some of the most famous inventors and the geniuses on the planet. They got their ideas when they were in a dream state, either daydreaming or in a night dream state. So it is important. But it's also important to acknowledge and be grateful for what you do have. And if you're feeling a bit down about anything, instead of focusing on that, switch it over and focus to the positives and the things that you do have, and be grateful for those and show some gratitude and some appreciation, because this is also a little bit what this card says. It also says there may be an offer coming to you. So this could be an offer of love. So this seems as though maybe this is the parting of ways of a relationship with someone, then a new one possibly is instigated, and still more new energies coming in. Even if we look at this one from a health perspective, it tends to be more about focusing on the positives. So if you're having any physical problems, things, they don't have to always be the way they are right now health-wise. So pay importance to your diet and your physical activities and what it is you can do to change your physical health. So maybe more exercises, or change in the way you are living, maybe, so earlier to bed or more sleep, or not burning the candle at both ends type thing. This one for health can also mean not burning the candle at both ends. It can show a bit of stress or anxiety, so perhaps making sure you get enough rest. So you keep getting that message there about rest. And even this card here, the Hierophant, he's ideally this peaceful, calm, sort of spiritual person who has the placid temperament and the slow pace. And I get a feeling of slowing down, because I think this guy up here, he also could be a sign that you're literally going too fast or moving too fast and you need to slow down a little bit. Contemplative time out. And the Hierophant here is about doing things the right way. So it's about making sure that things that you're doing in your life, you are treating others the right way, treating yourself the right way, and any situations that crop up. It's about foundations of our society and how we've all held one way or another accountable for our actions, and whatever you do eventually comes back to get you. type thing. It's kind of karmic, isn't it? And it's also a spiritual card, so you may, this is of course the end of the month basically, you may find a bit of spirituality coming in. You might, after perhaps what's gone on earlier, you might go, well, yeah, I think I could reconnect with my soul again, or reconnect with the universe somehow and recharge my batteries and find out why these things might have happened this month and how I can learn from them. It does feel as though there is a message about taking a bit of time out, slowing down, don't burn yourself out, be grateful for the things that are around you, including relationships. Try and manage any situations or tempers that flare up at work or in relationships at home, and make sure that there is a degree of correctness in the way things are being handled and the things that you do. And that could be legal matters, it could be financial matters, papers, or signing off of anything that's going on in the month of February. Your health also, traditional health values come into the core, and obtaining some form of spirituality there towards the end of the month. So pretty full on there for you, I think, Pisces. This is a bit of a big month. Let's see what your higher vibrational energy card is going to be. I was thinking of using a different deck, but I've come back to these ones for you, and we'll see what message comes out. I'll spread them now that I've shuffled them a little bit. Shamiel, beginnings. Wow, well that's pretty amazing, isn't it? The first two cards were really about, well, endings and new beginnings, and especially the new, the Ace of Wands. So beginnings not just in relationships, but perhaps beginnings at all levels for you. This is the purple chakra, or the third eye chakra, so again that's the connectivity to spirituality, so maybe some real lift and some spiritual activation for you as well, which we said towards the end of the month. Feels like, yeah, lots of beginnings coming in for February. So Shamiel is often considered the angel who can help when you're at a crossroads or are being led to approach life differently. Shamiel can ease the shock of grief from death or divorce, and helping us to mend hurts, discard broken pieces, and rebuild our lives anew. Wow, now that matches so intrinsically with those first cards. Another message is extraordinary new opportunities are dawning for you, drawing you to new people and new places and new projects. Shamiel wishes to lovingly assist you as anxiety often precedes change, asks you to call upon the might of all the angels in order to arrive just where you would like to be. Before this fruitfully occurs, it may be appropriate for you to release old projects, old patterns of behaviour, old ideas, or old acquaintances. See the new as a time to be met by the sun of the source with renewed vigour and well-being, just as you greet the new dawn and the new day with love, hope and joy. So, which kind of goes back on that message I said at the very beginning, that when we see change coming in our lives, we can, there's always a new door opening, and if we go through it, through the new doors with the right mindset and the right energy, honestly the things that can be waiting on the other side for us are undreamt of, changes and growth and excitement and newness. So it is actually quite a strong reading for you, with, I think here, you know, you've got some beautiful gifts of help and support and protection. So there you are, Pisces. Thank you for listening, and thank you for subbing and liking the videos and following me. I really appreciate all of your comments and your time and everything. I love doing the videos for you. I get a great pleasure out of it, and I wish you all the best for February, and wishing you much peace and aroha. Kia kaha.